name of my report is every single day of the 3-year-long expedition of Captain Meriwether Lewis and Captain William Clark. I'm sure you will find it fascinating as well as lengthy, thorough. On the first day of their famous adventure, the 2 young explorers woke up. Then they washed up for breakfast. Then they ate breakfast. Then they washed the dishes. Then they went on a canoe ride. Then they cooked their lunch. Then they ate their lunch. It was good. It was venison, berries, potatoes. Quiet! I am trying to give a report here. How rude. Who could that be anyway?
We're back!
What's going on here?
We're back!
We're back.
We're back!
Back from what? Who are you?
Who are we? Why, we're Lewis and Clark.
That's Clark and Lewis.
We're back from the expedition.
Yep, we made it to the Pacific Ocean and back in just 2.5 years.
We would have been here sooner, but that last 100 miles from the pits.
Yeah, it was rough. Wait, just wait a long minute here. The expedition of Lewis and Clark.
That's Clark and Lewis.
Don't try to confuse me, mister. I happen to know that the expedition of Lewis and Clark and Lewis, or whatever, took place almost 200 years ago, in the years 1804 to 1806.
Wow, I guess that last 100 miles was harder than I thought.
But you can't be the Lewis and Clark.
Well, do you think we could be the Clark and Lewis?
Well, I don't see how.
Well, I'm quite certain I'm Meriwether Lewis, the person commissioned by President Thomas Jefferson to lead the expedition.
Yep, he is, and I know I'm William Clark, the other victim, captain, to lead this expedition.
And I'm Charbonneau, the clumsy guide and interpreter.
And I'm Sacagawea, the guide for the group, and Charbonneau's wife.
You are? I mean, yes. You is? I mean, you are? I mean, I do.
I'm certain I'm the secretary of the trip. They call me York.
Ruff, ruff, I'm the dog Scannon, couldn't you tell?
Yep, he's the dog, all right. No doubt about it.
I'm so confused. My research is sure to come under intense scrutiny. What you're telling me is true.
Research?
Yes, you see, I was supposed to give a report to the class about the adventures of Lewis and Clark.
That's Clark.
Yeah, I know. Clark and Lewis. I don't care if you're Garfunkel and Simon. My report says that you should be home since 1806. Now, why should anyone believe anything I say?
Don't get all upset, little girl. We'll explain the whole thing to you.
Yep, we'll give you a first-hand account of our trip.
It was wonderful.
It was eye-opening.
It was eventful.
It was rough.
Let's tell her all about it. Hit it, fellas.
We are Lewis and Clark, Clark and Lewis.
Shoot, lady? Well, don't exactly shoot. We've had quite enough of that for a while.
That's for sure. Tell her how you shot Captain Lewis right in the ear because he thought he was an elk jump, you know?
Yeah, that was rough.
No, she won't hear about that.
Neither do I.
Well, what I don't understand is why President Jefferson was so keen on having me do the trip in the first place. After all, that territory wasn't even part of the United States at the time, was it?
No, it sure wasn't, but Jefferson had already dispatched two very capable fellows
James Monroe and Robert Livingston.
to France to try and buy some land from the Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte, who was in way over his head fighting wars all over Europe.
Not that over his head was very high, but frankly, my dear, he was pretty well broke.
Sounds like a good time for a deal, my dear.
Look over there!
We better do it. She's the guide, you know.
Gentlemen, all eyes, all hopes are now fixed on you. On the event of this mission depends on the future destinies of this republic.
No kidding, Mr. President.
Gee!
Heavy stuff, isn't it?
Really rough.
Oh, my name's Napoleon Bonaparte, and if I got a deal for you, I'm in danger of being blown apart, so I make this appeal to you. All eyes are fixed on you. All hopes are fixed on you. It's yours, your Billy, is someone for 15 million bucks. I think I know just how you feel. Come now, boys, let's make a deal. Come now, boys, let's make a deal. Come now, boys, let's make a
So you see, Monroe and Livingston bought a lot more than they originally intended.
Yeah, like 860,000 square miles. It was sort of a blue light special of land deals.
The truth is, we didn't even know what America owned when we started on our journey.
Many Americans,
I thought he was going to look a new ride or something.
many Americans had some strange ideas about ownership at that time in our history.
You can say that again.
Well, let's get back to the trip itself. So you headed out of St. Louis in a couple of canoes and a couple of keelboats. Was the trip everything you hoped it would be?
Are you kidding? It was the adventure of a lifetime.
It was spectacular.
It was so enlightening.
What trip.
It was freeing.
It was magnificent.
It was glorious.
It was stupendous.
Wait! Stop! Hold it! I can't believe I'm hearing this, and I'm known to have some pretty good ears. Good grief, fellas, give me some music. Now, baby, let me give it to you straight from one who did the entire trip on only 4 little paws, not a hydrant in sight. They can tell you it was this great adventure full of romance, excitement, and thrills. But let me tell you right now that no matter what they say, no matter how they say it, the truth of the matter is that the whole doggone trip was positive, absolutely, undeniably. Applause, takes and waves, devoured a million years of being, right to nerves, sink and swerve, and anything else that's covered in germs. They say it was a great adventure, and all that matters
to a certain degree. It could be a pretty trying adventure at times, what with wild animals, miserable weather, and trying to keep the native populations from doing us in.
What about those native populations? What was their reaction to you visiting their land?
Why don't you ask Sacagawea? She probably knows the best answers to those questions.
Oui, she's the guy, you know.
And your wife.
She is? I mean, yes, she is. Wow.
The truth is, I guess it's true. We never would have made it without Sacagawea as his skills as a guide and interpreter.
Sacagawea, how did your people respond to their visitors to the east?
Oh, my friend, most of the tribes welcomed us with open arms. They shared with us their food, their homes, and their friendship. They do not feel that there is any reason to be afraid.
In most instances, we are visitors in a land they had already inhabited for generations, land they already called home.
This is our home, this is our land. Hills and valleys, mountains and sand. Generations lived here alone. Strangers, this is our home. Strangers, this is our home. Strangers, this is our home. This is our home. Welcome, strangers, stay as our friends. The beauty of our land never ends. When you decide you need to stand, this will still be our land. This will still be our land.
Lands around my dwelling are more beautiful than the day it was given me to see. Places I had never seen before. All is more beautiful. All is more beautiful and life is thankfulness. These guests of mine make my house great.
This is our place, this is our dream. Every river, every stream, snow-capped mountains, oceans of foam. Strangers, this is our home. Strangers, this is our home. Strangers, this is our home. This is our home.
Wow, I'm beginning to see Native Americans in a whole new way. Now, my big question is, how did you ever really know where you were going out there in the wilderness?
It was rough. Quiet, Scannon. It wasn't always easy at times, but with the help of Sacagawea and other guys along the way, plus the sun, the stars, and the planets, and the river current, the direction was usually quite obvious.
Actually, it was our expert mastering of the sciences of astronomy, geometry, geography, meteorology, and all the earth sciences. Math is our innate sense of direction. Line and form that got us to and from our manifest destination was near a single missed cue.
In other words, we got lucky.
Where do we go?
How'd it feel for you to be so far away from home?
Well, miss, I've always been a long way from home. Out of the West in a whole new land. I think I felt more free than I ever have.
Tai Vavone.
Okay, that was random.
What was that, Charbonneau?
Tai Vavone. It's the Shawnee word that means stranger.
The truth is, I guess that we're all strangers in one form or another in this strange new land.
I know I'm strange.
Tai Vavone. What a beautiful word.
It's funny how sometimes, even in a crowd, you can feel pretty alone.
I'm just a lone, wayfaring stranger, wandering through this world alone. But there's no sin, this world nor danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my Maker. I'm going there, no more to roam. I'm just a way over yonder. I'm just a going over wayfaring stranger, wandering through this world alone. But there's no sin, this world nor danger, that bright land to which I go. I'm going back to see my
Was there ever a time you thought you might not ever make it across the entire continent?
Yes, indeed, there are times like that.
Like when we thought the Sioux were going to do us all in.
Or when we nearly froze to death the wintry snow with a man dance.
Or how about the time we saw 220 grizzly bears in one day?
That's right. One of them almost had Charbonneau for lunch.
Really? That was bad, all right. But I think the worst danger was with the peers out of the Columbia River. We ate nothing but salmon and dog meat for weeks on end.
Rough, 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 rough.
Ah yes, the Columbia. That's when I knew for sure we were going to make it to the Pacific.
After making it past the Great Falls of Missouri, I thought I'd never want to see a rushing river again.
We made it over the entire Rocky Mountains. Needless to say, we were pretty battered.
Then Captain Clark discovered a large river we call Clearwater that led us right into the mighty Columbia.
Then we met up with the Nez Perce Indians who saved our lives with their generosity and kindness.
They fed us.
And helped us build new dugout canoes that got us back on that beautiful river, making us tumbling dash to the sea. And then there it was.
The most beautiful sight any of us had ever seen. It was beautiful. I mean, woof!
We made it over the entire continent.
The world would never be the same.
Ocean view,